My name is Machuka Nyarieko. I'm a political scientist, and I'm so happy to be invited to Churista TV to discuss on pertinent issues that are affecting our state today. So I welcome you viewers so that we can move together.
Okay, mheshimiwa. Lengo letu la siku ya leo ni gani? Tunataka tuangazie ama mambo kuhusu UNDA manifesto. UNDA manifesto tunajua tuliingia katika uchaguzi tukachaguana, na tunaona mambo ambayo yaliweza kuangaziwa katika uchaguzi sana sana ni upande wa kilimo ama ukulima. Mheshimiwa, ningetaka nikuulize kwa ufupi, kwa sababu tunaona wakati wote president wetu anapoongea kwenye umati lazima aongee kuhusu kilimo. Ningetaka nikuulize ama uelezee watazamaji wa Julista, utuelezee kuwa kila mahali anapoongea lazima aangazie kilimo iko chini, aitainua kilimo ikue juu. Ningetaka kukuuliza kwa ufupi, yeye kivyake ama sisi kama wakulima ama sisi kama wapigaji kura juu sisi ndiye tulichaguana, ukulima una faida gani kwenye hii manifesto? Juu ukiangalia kwenye manifesto ya UDA ukulima ndio ile iko juu sana.
Okay, asante sana ndugu yangu for that pertinent question. Actually, our topic today is on agriculture with a major focus on subsidized fertilizer. It is true, as our brother said, that wherever the president is, or even before he took power, he had a dream. He had a dream of improving the lives of farmers. And again today I say, whether the dream is coming true is a debate, or it's an open question. Because in any developed countries, or in most developed countries, you will find that no country has developed before first going through agrarian revolution, because it is from agriculture that you will have the raw materials that will be taken to industries. When we talk of raw materials, we can talk of cotton, can talk of sugarcane, pyrethrum, maize, groundnuts, tea, and many others. But the question is, the major question is, by the president introducing subsidy fertilizer, will this achieve his vision, that is, of having a state with controlled living standards? Because the living standards today are unbearable. People are sleeping without food. People are waking up, taking water, and going to their various farming activities without even taking the breakfast. So to be able to understand the president's manifesto, we have to look at the president's manifesto in relation to the fertilizer, because today, even since the president took over, wherever he sleeps, if he turns this side, he dreams fertilizer. The other side, fertilizer. Frontwards, fertilizer. So is the fertilizer achieving his goals? And of course, just a moment, remember he said that one of the issues that is facing today is incompetence, corruption, and conflict of interest from his servants, from his workers. I think we shall discuss. I saw as if you had a question. Just you can bring it forward.
Okay. Let me ask you, what do you mean by the term crop is the main production in Kenya? Nikuuliza kwa ufupi, kama ambavyo unajua Kenya, ukulima ni aina tofauti, kwa sababu kuna wale wakulima ama kuna sehemu ambazo hawawezi wakalima kitu inatumia fertilizer. Unanielewa? Kwa hivyo tunaona example kama kuna sehemu inalima sisal production kama crop. Au unataka kuniambia pia watu wanalimbanga sisal wanatumia fertilizer, ama wao wanaenda kufanyika aji na hii fertilizer?
Okay. The major aim of having subsidized or a subsidy in fertilizer is to lower the cost of living, because if you sell, for example, fertilizer at 10,000 shillings per a 50 kgs bag, it means by the end of the day, during harvesting, the cost of production is very high. Therefore, it will be next to impossible maybe to sell one gorogoro or 1 tin of maize. I'm talking of maize because most of us Kenyans depend much on ugali. It will be so difficult to sell the gorogoro moja at 80 shillings or at 120 shillings. So you have to start preparing earlier. But my major question was, is his desires, vision been achieved by the ministry led by Mithika Rinduri? Yes, Professor Mithika Rinduri. As Professor Mithika Rinduri gone so much to class and forgotten what should be done when he goes to the field? To answer this, I will focus on 5 or 6 major points. 1, the availability of fertilizer or the subsidized fertilizer. Is it available everywhere? I've seen about 2 seasons when farmers want to plant fertilizer, you will find that the fertilizer is not available. It comes or it is brought towards the end of the season.
Okay, tegea hapo. Nikuulize. Swali liko hapa. Is every farmers going to benefit with this fertilizer? No. Kwa mfano tuseme si watu wote wako na kiwango moja size ya samba line unapanda. Kwa mfano tuchukue pande ya mahindi. Kwa ekari moja wanaenda kutumia mifuko ngapi ya fertilizer ndio ku make sure the improvement of crop iko high?
Their regulations is that you can take up to 100 bags of fertilizer and 2 bags of fertilizer depending on the size of your acreage, which is both good and an issue. It is good because we have people with many acres or big shambas who can apply the same or can buy up to 100 acres. But at the same time, we have, when we talk of fertilizer, it doesn't mean that you are only going to use for planting maize and beans and fight hunger. We have those who want to use the fertilizer to plant some trees. We have wazees. We have wakina mama who have small shambas, gardens just across to their home, and they will want just 1 kg to buy the fertilizer to plant maybe vegetable. So you find it becomes so difficult for an hustler, as he calls them, or as they call them, to buy a 50 kgs of fertilizer. So that's a very big issue. And concerning the same, one wonders whether they are taking the right fertilizer to a given area. You are talking of sisal.
Yes.
Whether sisal needs fertilizer. What do you think? Do you think that there is anything that comes from the ground that does not need fertilizer?
Okay, tegea hapo. Na mtazamaji kumbuka kutuma ujumbe wako ama swali lolote ambalo unataka kuuliza siku ya leo. Kumbuka kutuma kwa YouTube live. Any question tutaianza leo, tutajibu. Kumbuka kutuma ujumbe wako kwa Julistar TV Facebook. Tuko live Facebook peke yake. Okay. Na nikuuliza, naona kuna swali naulizwa hapa na watu sana. Naona kuna swali.
Guys, welcome to Julistar Graphic Design Cyber. We make it real, and whatever you need must appear the way you want it. Located at Committee Road, Githurai 44. In here we do graphic design. We do everything that customer has decided, and whatever you give an order, we give it to our best. Now, we do photocopies, printing, scanning, binding, typesetting, and also professional CV lighting for those who are going outside the country. Moreover, we do graphic designs, that is mug and t-shirt printing, hood, caps, car bladding, signets, write box, 2D and 3D logo designs. A Julistar graphic design, we make it real.
Muciari wina mwana ungienda athomere computer ona kana we mwene ndugathumbuke ringi. Ithuĩ ta Eastern Computer College nĩ tũthomithagia kothi ta computer application, computer maintenance, web making and design, graphic design, online marketing, photography and videography, YouTube and Facebook management na ingĩ nyingĩ. Arutwo aitũ nĩ tũmaheaga certificate marĩkia gũthoma. Tũkoragwo Githurai kĩa 44 along Committee Road. Aranĩria na principal witũ kũhĩtũkĩra 0798 326 886 kana 0722 655 282. Ningĩ no ũtũnyite kũhĩtũkĩra nenda-inĩ citũ cia mohoro ta Facebook, Twitter kana Instagram. Eastern Computer College, success is our goal.
Okay, welcome back to the topic. Na kabla tujaendelea tukumbuke kulipa mandeni. Okay, Elista Computer College. Hii ni kompyuta ambayo nimekuelezea ama nimeishi kukuelezea kwamba ni shule ama ni college ambayo imejitolea kusomesha mtoto wako mahali popote alipo. Pia anaweza kuwa akisoma online na unalipia through mitandao ya kijamii. Na course ambazo Elista inafanya ni kama vile kuna pande ya computer, kuna graphic designing na vitu vingi ambavyo unaweza peleka mtoto wako pale na anasoma. Kuna graphic design, photograph, videography. Kila mahali popote unapata Elista Computer College. Turudi sasa pande yetu ya topic ya leo. Mheshimiwa, nikuulize kuwa hii fertilizer imetolewa na government, ina benefit mkulima yoyote ama kuna wale wanapata ama wako na manufaa wanafaidika na hii fertilizer?
Very well. As I said earlier, I did mention that the president himself, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has said that he is facing some challenges, 3 issues: incompetence from his officials, conflict of interest, and corruption. When we talk of incompetence, you will find that you see the Ministry of Agriculture in the last budget or on the current budget was allocated 49.9 billions. But how the money is being spent is full of questions, because we cannot see any tangible work that is being done, because we expected that at this time we could be seeing about 100 dams being constructed, because you cannot just talk of fertilizer without water. Fertilizer can only work when there is rain. And last time I asked you, or I said, are we waiting for the rains to go so that we go back to Nyayo statue to pray to God to give us rain? And he has been so good and so dear to us for the last, I think, around eight months with the blessings, the showers of rain. Are we waiting? Are the governments right from northeastern to Ruo Nyanza, from Mombasa to Rodwa, are they prepared? Because fertilizer alone cannot provide the sufficient food security. Another point that I wanted to focus on is government entry into business at the expense of businessmen. Surely, how can a government start selling fertilizer at 2,500 at the expense of businessmen who are all over the republic? What should have the government done? The government, if wants the fertilizer to reach at the smallest farmer at 2,500 shillings, they could have bought fertilizer from outside and sell it maybe to distributors in Kenya at maybe 1,800, and these distributors can sell to wholesalers, retailers, so that we get fertilizer everywhere. Today, if you are not registered, you cannot access the fertilizer. So it's some kind of, which brings me to the third question. It's some kind of discrimination. You cannot get the subsidized fertilizer, and our businessmen cannot compete with the government. You see, today if you are going to get a loan in Kenya Commercial Bank or Equity Bank, as you are seated there, you see the CS4 for finance also somewhere wanting to be given a government loan. Whom do you think will be attended?
Okay. Kuna mahali nimesikia ukitaja 49.9 billion. Nikuulize kwa ufupi. Hii 49.9 billion ilitengwa na government. Ilikuwa ya kuinua kilimo ama ni kama ilikuwa pia pande ya biashara? Inue pia biashara.
Okay, the 49.9 billion was meant entirely for the Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture is divided between Ministry of Agriculture and Crop Production and the Livestock Production. So this money was to be divided, there are billions divided, even including some money for irrigation, money for research, money for disease control to various departments. But the question is, the president has been talking of unemployment. He's actually fighting unemployment. That's why he's so much focusing on the 3 million public servants, both in the public and the private sector, who earn salaries a month. That's why they are being overtaxed. But is he asking his ministers, different ministers, to tell him how many jobs they have created? Because to increase tax base, it means more people in employment sector, in jobs. And to have more people in various jobs, you have to go back to agriculture. There is housing comes maybe second or third. Housing is just a minor issue. It should come after agriculture. The elephant in the house is that agriculture has been neglected and underfunded, and those who are employed there think that they are just there to be paid salaries and allowances. Actually, the allocations are for salaries and allowances led by the Honorable Mithika Linturi.
Okay, sawa. Sisi kama wakulima tunajua ya kwamba hii fertilizer ilikuwa imepeanwa kutoka ughaibuni ikaingia Kenya itumike na wakulima. Sisi kama wakulima tunajua hakuna any charge ama hakuna pesa yote ililipwa ndio ikuje hapa. Na kwa sasa viliko kwa mkulima, wewe kama mkulima lazima uende na pesa. Unaweza nielezea hapo ni biashara iko kwa government ama iliendaje tena ikageuka ikakuwa lazima uinvest?
That's why I said for effective policy formulation, the government should finish its business at the coast.
Okay.
And the distributors should be sold, wauziwe, wale wana distribute wapewe hizo fertilizer, wauzie wholesalers to retailers, so that the fertilizer can be everywhere. They can't even run from KTDA. KTDA is able to distribute without many issues to farmers all over the republic. But with the KTDA also there are some questions, because you will find maybe Kiamo Kama, where I come from, the bonus is at the lowest point, 2022. When you go to Getugi in Central Province, you will find it maybe at the 58 shillings. Now you wonder, are we having what are the issues behind this? But somebody told me, an engineer, but that this goes with the cost of production. You will find that some factories like those in Western Kenya for sugar companies in Kisii, Ruo, Nyanza, wanatumia mikokojo such that the cost of production was very high. There is of employment. That's why we cannot compete selling sugar between we and our neighboring countries. Theirs is cheaper because our cost of production is high.
Okay, tegea hapo. Nikuulize, tukiangalia pande ya ukulima, tunajua CS Peter Munya from Meru pia alikuwa amesimamia kilimo, na kwa sasa tuko na CS Mithika Linturi. Ukikompea hawa watu wawili, hiyo time ama hiyo period of time, pande ya ukulima ama kwa wakulima, unaweza niambia kuna any change between Peter Munya and Mithika Linturi?
Actually, what I can say is that Peter Munya handed over sleeping sickness to Mithika Linturi because, as I said earlier, agriculture is where we can have many people employed, and it can be organized at village levels, just as they were saying, bottom up. At village levels, when you talk of housing providing maybe 1.5 million or 1 point, not is it 1.5, 100,000 jobs per year, housing, that is so little compared to what can take place if agriculture can be taken seriously, if they can live about the underfunding nature. And it also depends on who is at the top. It doesn't need one to go from one county to another. Mithika Linturi can sit back very comfortably at Ukulima House and manage the entire country. Examples of people who have done so include John Mishuki. Mishuki hakuwa anaenda kila mahali. Simeon Nyachai. Actually, when Simeon Nyachai was appointed to the Ministry of Finance, the shilling improved, iliimarika. We have another gentleman from the coast, Kalisa Maitha. Kalisa Maitha, when he was Minister for Local Government, even at the local councils, they just felt that Kalisa Maitha is with us. If you play around, atakunasa. We also have another gentleman by the name, the former Minister for Education, even if he left so much debts. The CS for Security, Matiang'i. Yes, you should be fed everywhere. And reasons as to why these people fail to be felt everywhere is because once they take power, they forget about their manifestos. They forget even the sweepers who sweep in their offices, that they are the people who can provide them with information of what is happening, with information on corruption, with information on conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is whereby you will find the minister and his friends are the ones who are managing the tenders, and that's why we can't see any progress.
Nikuinteract kidogo. Nimesikia ukiongea kuhusu housing. Swali ni je, does this housing benefit to every Kenyans? Juu ni sawa, tunaona nyumba zinajengwa ni sawa. Nyumba zinajengwa na government kila mahali. Nyumba. Na pia this type of housing ilikuwa kwa manifesto ya UNDA. So ningetaka utuelezee ama utuambie hizi nyumba ziko na faida yote kwa Mkenya?
Housing is even in our constitution. It's a requirement. People need to live a decent life. The issue with housing comes when you talk of taxation. And which is okay. You cannot tax this person time and again. These people have been loaded with work. You see a policeman earns around 35,000 to 50,000. But remember this salary, which is being deducted so much, the policeman, because he's a breadwinner from his family, you don't just look at the 15,000 that have remained in his pocket and say that the policeman is benefiting. He has to send to his brother, he has to send to his siblings who are at school, watoto wake, so you will find they remain with nothing. That's why I'm saying, wherever they meet, wherever Mythically Nduli meets his people, he should be asking, because we have so many institutions under agriculture. And these institutions, I can mention a few of them. We have Kenya Seed. We have Kenya Tea Development. We have Sony Sugar, Southern, all anything to do with sugar around him. So what he should be doing when he meets these people, he should be asking them, how much have you provided for employment of the people?
Yeah, okay. So, last week, CS Mythically Nduli was in Meru. Alikuwa Meru. Na alikuwa na mkutano na rais wetu. Kwenye mkutano waliongea kuhusu improvement ya crop kwa wingi. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa the main issue ya kukutana, rais wetu kukutana na CS wa kilimo pale Meru. Na vitu ambavyo waliweza kuongeleza pale ama kuongea pale ni vitu zinahusikana na ukulima. Na swali ambalo linaulizwa na Wakenya wengi ama na watu wengi wenye walikuwa kwenye mkutano ama wenye walitazama mkutano ni je, kila mtu ako na shamba ya kulima ndio aweze kupata hii fertilizer, hii kiwango ya fertilizer imeweza kupeanwa na government? Ni kila mtu atapata ama ni kila mtu anafaidika na hii fertilizer? Juu tukiangalia tukiangalia pande ya kama pande ya Umasaini ni farmer wa livestock keeping. So watu kama hao pia walisaidika na hii fertilizer? Hiyo ndio swali ambalo linaulizwa kwa wingi.
Okay. Even if the people at Masaini are livestock keepers, we also have those who do farming. And actually we have fertile lands for farming. If you go to Narok, we have wheat, which is being planted in large scale. We have maize. We have pumpkins, onions, tomatoes. So the issue here is when they are in government, should they be talking of that we want to do this? You know what people want to hear now is that if you go to Meru, we have a factory that is ongoing construction, not that we want to do this. Mythically Nduli should be telling people, I've provided hybrid seeds to farmers all over the republic at a subsidized prices. Not I'm going to do. These should be the languages of Akina Raila, Akina Kalonzo Musyoka, those who are in opposition. But once you are in power, why should you tell us that I want to do this? Tell us I've allocated 2 billion towards doing this. Just to look of irrigation. Actually, Israel can be able to feed its people without the environment that we have in Kenya.
Okay, nikupate kidogo. Mtazamaji, ningeomba tuingie twende break nyingine alafu tutarejelea baada ya kulipa mandeni.
Muciari wina mwana ungienda athomere computer ona kana we mwene ndugathumbuke ringi. Ithuĩ ta Eastern Computer College nĩ tũthomithagia kothi ta computer application, computer maintenance, web making and design, graphic design, online marketing, photography and videography, YouTube and Facebook management na ingĩ nyingĩ. Arutwo aitũ nĩ tũmaheaga certificate marĩkia gũthoma. Tũkoragwo Gĩthũrai kĩa 44 along Committee Road. Aranĩria na principal witũ kũhĩtũkĩra 0798 326 886 kana 0722 655 282. Ningĩ no ũtũnyite kũhĩtũkĩra nenda-inĩ citũ cia mohoro ta Facebook, Twitter kana Instagram. Eastern Computer College, success is our goal. Muciari wina mwana ungienda athomere computer ona kana we mwene ndugathumbuke ringi. Ithuĩ ta Eastern Computer College nĩ tũthomithagia kothi ta computer application, computer maintenance, web making and design, graphic design, online marketing, photography and videography, YouTube and Facebook management na ingĩ nyingĩ. Arutwo aitũ nĩ tũmaheaga certificate marĩkia gũthoma. Tũkoragwo Gĩthũrai kĩa 44 along Committee Road. Aranĩria na principal witũ kũhĩtũkĩra 0798 326 886 kana 0722 655 282. Ningĩ no ũtũnyite kũhĩtũkĩra nenda-inĩ citũ cia mohoro ta Facebook, Twitter kana Instagram. Eastern Computer College, success is our goal.
Tunaangazia kuhusu ukulima peke yake. Na uko willingly ama umeruhusiwa kuuliza swali lolote ambalo unataka kuuliza, tuko live, tutakuwa tunakujibu moja kwa moja. Kama uko na swali lolote unataka kuuliza kuhusu hii fertilizer ama kuhusu ukulima, uliza saa hii. Tuma ujumbe kwa Facebook Julistar, pale kwa Julistar TV. Kumbuka kusubscribe, comment na kushare ili uwe unapata taarifa ambazo tumekuandalia. Na topic ya leo ni kuhusu hii fertilizer. Turudi pale kwa hiyo topic yetu ya fertilizer. Okay. Nimeona tumeuliza kuhusu Peter Munya, aliyekuwa CS wa ukulima hapo awali, na saa hii tuko na CS anaitwa Mithika Linturi. Na tunaona walikuwa na mkutano last week Meru, kama ambavyo nimekuambia. So kwenye huu mkutano waliongea kuhusu fertilizer kila mahali. So hii fertilizer ilikuwa imeletwa katika wakulima bila gharama yoyote, na kwa vile ilifika kwa mkulima gharama ikakuwa kama ni mifuko kiasi, inatoka hii pesa fulani, mfuko moja wa hii type of fertilizer inatoka hivi. Ningetaka tuelezee ama ningeomba tuelezee mbona after imekuja kulikuwa na change, sio vile wakulima walikuwa wameexpect ama walikuwa wanatarajia itakuwa, ilikuja ikiwa vice versa.
Okay, it depends on what Kenya and the foreign governments agreed. Was it Kenya that was to board the fertilizer from maybe Russia to Kenya, or is it Russia that brought the rice, the fertilizer to Kenya? And maybe also, to be fair to this gentleman, there is also the issue of transportation, which I said should be left to individual businessmen. A government should not compete in business with its citizens. It should just provide an environment. In this case, bring fertilizer to the coast, sell it to distributors, and the distributors will sell according to the government directives, because they know the expenses that have been incurred. Today, if you have not been registered and you want to plant trees, my friend, you must have to buy fertilizer very expensively, because there are two prices of fertilizer today in the market, which should not be in any modern state.
Okay, kuna hili swali limeulizwa hapa na watu wengi. Kuna swali ambalo limeulizwa na watu wengi hapa. Tunaona kuna mwenye anauliza, in the Ministry of Kenya's economy crisis, kuna juu kama huyu anasema wamezoea kundanganywa kila wakati, wanadanganywa na politician. Huyu anakuja na maneno yake matamu ya kudanganya. Ningetaka utuelezee hii uongo ama ndio tumesema mambo ya fertilizer. Tunaona kila wakati ni kama ilikuwa stories za kudanganywa, sijui fertilizer ndiye p sijui itatoka hivi, hii pesa fulani hii na hii. So watu wengi ama farmers wengi walisafa. Kwa vile walikuwa wanatarajia hii fertilizer itakuja hivi, alafu ikakuja bila wako wanatarajia. Tukiangalia pande ya ukulima, there is any improvement kwa ukulima? Kama kuna mkulima pale alikuwa na harvest kama ni ngunia 100 kwa ekari moja, hii round ame harvest hivyo ama imemwangusha?
Okay, I can say, before I answer your question, I can see a very good question from the Honorable Seth Odoyo. Odoyo comes from the Ruo Nyanza, and is asking of the false promises that politicians, you see, when we talk of politicians, actually there is something I want you to get very clear. We are only using Mithika Linturi as an example of most of our leaders. It's just an example. Odoyo is here talking of our politicians, meaning that even from where he comes, people have had manifestos. Once they take over the rings of power, they put them in the pocket. And once again,
okay, because time is not in our side. Kwa vile tuko ya muda, kumbuka mtazamaji wetu wa Njurista TV kusubscribe, kucomment na kushare, ili uwe unapata taarifa ambazo zinatufikia sisi kama wanahabari wa Njurista. Tuko Facebook, tuko WhatsApp, tuko Instagram, tuko Twitter. Pia kumbuka pale kwa mtandao wa TikTok tuko pale pale. Mjadala wetu umefika hapo. Mpaka the next time tutakuletea kipindi ingine. Tutakuwa tunakuanalizia kwa Facebook. Unapata vipindi ambazo zinaendelea every month. Kumbuka kusubscribe, comment na kushare. Mimi wako Kelvin Molome.